Hi, I'm Lebogang. I play predominantly guitar in the band Kazi Ya Sanaa. So I'm part of three people. So I'm one of three people. So it's me, it's Mulan and Karabo, and we are Kazi Ya Sanaa as a whole. But yeah, I'm Lebogang. Kazi Ya Sanaa means actually a work of art in Swahili. So we wanted a name that was very exotic, if I say. But so how we came up with the name was we didn't actually have a name for a long time. So for the longest time we were just making music together. So this was now 2019. Me and Mulan. We were making music together, and then we started playing, but we didn't have a name. So it would just be Mulan and Lips, you know. And then once we started recording music together, it was kind of like, okay, now you can't put on Spotify like Untitled, or we don't have a name, you know. So then that's when we decided we need a name. And then I like Swahili as a language. I want to speak it. I can't speak it, but eventually I want to speak it. So yeah, then we searched online for nice names in Swahili, and then we came across this phrase, and yeah, and then I did double check with people who actually speak Swahili to find out, because Google sometimes can like throw you off. So I did check with people who can speak Swahili. Later on though, like at the time we were just taking a chance. We were like, let's trust Google. But yeah, so that's what it means, a work of art in Swahili.
Hi everyone, I hope you guys are good. So yeah, let's get to somebody new. It's hard for me to accept that you don't feel the same. You led me to believe that you're with me. You drive me out of my weakness, but all I had was you. So I guess it's true when they say that love is blind, and so was I, and so was you, the lover that never would be. The idea of you is all I had, but I'm glad, because true love was all true love was never for me, because true love, it was never meant for me. Oh, but I found somebody new, free as a bird, free as a bird, calm as water, even myself from somebody new, free as a bird, calm as water, even myself from somebody new. Even myself, even myself, free as a bird, calm as water, why he wrote the song, right? He got don't. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
With us, we're just always trying to stay true to ourselves. So like when we write a song, we don't think ish people gonna like the song, you know. So I guess because we liked the name ourselves, we didn't really think about whether it would be really relatable to other people. Obviously we do appreciate that it is relatable and people like the name once they find out what it means, but in the creation process we try to not limit ourselves with those kind of thoughts, because it's kind of limiting thinking I can't have that name because people might not get it, or I can't write this song because people might not like it. So we try to really get rid of those thoughts when we're writing and when, like, generally from the start. So because we liked the name Kazi Ya Sanaa, we didn't even think about whether other people would like it, as long as we liked it and it sounded good to us. I think that's always a hard question for people to answer. Google Google says that it's alternative slash indie music. So I guess, but like when we write, we don't think, okay, let me write an indie song or let me write alternative music. It just ends up the way it sounds, ends up being in there. But I'd like to believe it's also progressive music, because we want to make music that's, you know, that's going somewhere. Yeah. So obviously it's me. I play most of the time guitar in Kazi Ya Sanaa and flute as well. I play the flute as well. And then we have our lead singer, Mulan. And then who also does like our cover art. So the cover arts that you've seen and all the arts that you've seen on our page, that's her. So she does the art as well. And then recently we've added another member, Karabo. Welcome. He's literally like a part of us. It's like it just happened, you know. It was like the way we work, the way we think, we are very different people, all three of us. Like we come from very different backgrounds, very different musical influences. What makes sense is when we are together, things just click. Yeah, so far there's three of us. More than anything, it just always has to be respect. So you can't be like, when are you doing like this because what, you know, you can't like. So as long as there's respect, it flows, because then you can tell someone, hey, like, listen to this, how does this sound? And then Mulan would come to me and be like, okay, let's try it like this. And then maybe I'll tell Karabo, maybe try playing it like this, or he'd tell me, nah, like, they maybe do it like this. But it's never really a point where everyone disagrees so much that we end up leaving the room, and there's always like respect amongst us, and it's always about like trying to understand where people listen to things differently, people hear things differently. So what you hear and what you think is right might not sound the same to like the other person. So as long as we understand that amongst us, I think it always just moves smoothly. Like even when we don't necessarily agree, we end up being on the same page at the end of the day. Nah, not actually, because I was actually talking to Karama about this recently, and I was telling him we were playing at a jam station, and I told him, Ijo, people are gonna go to Mulan a lot, and he was like, I'm fine. Like, as long as we get to do our parts, we get to sound good, and at the end of the day, like especially with the audience we have, Mulan has a really nice voice, like a nice singing voice, so people tend to like gravitate towards her. Even after shows, people will go to her. You have such a nice voice. No one listens to Ice playing a C major 7 chord there on the guitar, unless like there are musicians in the room, obviously. So then those are the people that will come and talk to you and tell you, hey. But generally, like people gravitate towards Mulan, and that's fine. It's natural that it happens, and we don't feel intimidated at all. Because I had this conversation with Arabo and I told him, and we were talking about it, about how like we don't need the spotlight, like we don't need the lights on us all the time. Like it actually helps us, because then there's less pressure, and then we can just focus on what we want to do, and Mulan can handle the talking and interacting with the audience and stuff like that. I mean, when push comes to shove, I can talk to the audience or he can, but like generally we're just okay with like Mulan being the lead singer, and we just like making the music happen.
To save your dumb behind, but you left me.
Music is the only thing.
You got don't. Never mind. Never mind. So our next song is called There Goes My Heart. I would say that comes from the heart and all that other stuff. It does kind of, but it's also a remake of an old SoundCloud classic that I did. It has 3,000 plays and it's like one of my best work ever.
Streaming. Okay, I'll speak to him. He's outside. When he comes back, I'll speak to him. Manolo. There is a car. If we don't have a people for to speak to Robert though. Might be more about attention.
leave your dumb behind, but you left me.
Music is the only thing I can do. Like, I can do that with, because I can't paint, I can't write stories, I can't, like, in terms of an art form and a way of expression, this is the only thing I can do. So with Mulan, maybe she'll tell you a different story because she paints, she does other things. She's a visual artist besides being a singer. So I think maybe her, she just blends all of those ideas together into her songwriting. And with Karabo as well, from my experience of like knowing him, he's also just a musician. I don't think in terms of like the art space, he just does music. I don't think he does like any other like fashion or stuff like that. I think for me it just always, sometimes groove just feels uncomfortable. Like it gets cold, I don't have money. Like it's just better for me to play my guitar on a Friday night rather than go out. So I don't actually feel like I'm missing out on stuff because I've done that stuff. And like, not to say that now I'm old and I've done that stuff, but like I've experienced partying with my friends and I do go out here and there, but generally for me, like the personality that I have is just not my space. So I think that also helps. Then I have time for other things, because juggling school and music, I kind of have to like, wake up early, try and study, then later on in the day focus on other things, so I don't actually feel like I'm losing out because I'm always just so busy and like always in the motions. I never feel the need to go out to a club. Sometimes to de-stress, yeah, but it's not a weekend thing. I don't think I have the money for it anyway. Well, since we released the EP, we didn't really have a chance to play it like completely, like in full, the entire EP. So I think that's what we're excited about. We're happy to be collaborating with you guys.
Sorry about that, guys. So to make it up to you guys, the next song is called Offspring of the Faces. Yeah, we've all been unemployed before, and my parents never believed in the arts and it actually be something that you make money. And
Fake news.
Exactly. But I didn't have the money, so yeah, I had to. Exactly. You know what I mean? So there was a time when I was walking through the streets of Kimberley, that's where I'm from, the North. So market now? Anyway, back to the story. I was walking the streets of Kimberley looking for work as a salesperson somewhere at Sportsman, wherever. And yeah. Anyway, so we were doing all of that stuff, right? And like I couldn't find work, and that's why I was like, you know what? At least I think I can hold the note. So let me just try my hand at singing and stuff like that. And this was low-key like a jab to my mom, because she did not think this was a good idea. But anyway, let me stop talking. So the last song is called Saturdays on the West. Come on. So you guys agree, right? That they are. And it was basically inspired by me going to a club.
Looking like a vibe there that is not really nice. And getting drunk in my apartment by myself is always really nice. So I was just comparing, you know, and the fact that I was really broke as well. But yeah, I'm still broke, so. Okay, another thing about performance technique that
I forgot to mention to you guys. I think like most of us know the song, not most of us, but like some of y'all know the song, right? So I don't have backing singers here, so you guys mind helping me out?
It's
I'm
me,
really
sis.
volunteering.
It's me.
I'll wear one job.
I'm the one.
So
I'm the singer.
can you guys sing the chorus with me? Saturday, I know what. Another time, another more song. Saturdays, I know what.
Saturdays are the worst. Saturdays are the worst.
Thank you so much. So, it's in, right? Let me get to it. Now we're gonna start the song. Thank you so much. Don't die, don't go, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. Oh, Saturday, I know what. People, they talk shit, think they're friends, I've been everyone. They so hard to make a word.